Hi there, and welcome back to my channel, you guys. This is another canuary video where I am showing you how I raw pack chicken and pressure can it in my digital pressure canner. If you're new here, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Pantry. I like to buy these family packs of chicken because they normally are cheaper per pound. They'll go on sale more often than the regular packs. And it used to be that they were the perfect amount for my family. But now that my son is gone, they're actually a little bit too much. And I find it's actually still perfect to buy them because I can use about half the pack for dinner, or a little more, a little less, depending on what I'm making and what I need. And then I can just can the rest, which is one of the advantages of the digital pressure canner over the regular ones like I used last week, my All-American. I can link that video when I did the beans if you want to see that. But this one, it goes a little bit faster, and if I'm not doing a large amount, I really don't want to take the time that the All-American does. So just so you know, I am doing what's called raw pack chicken. This is meaning that I'm packing raw chicken into these jars. And that may seem weird. This is an approved method. The National Center for Home Food Preservation, which is what I use for my guidelines for the majority of my canning. They have all the safe practices there. They have directions for raw pack or what's called hot pack, like cooked chicken. Either one is fine. The processing time is the same for both. So what I'm doing here is I am trimming off fat and gristle. I just don't like the way they cook up. I will keep all that. I'm kind of generous when I do that. You may notice a little bit of meat coming off with those fat pieces. I'm a little generous that way in that I cook that up for my dog so that he can eat all that, or give some of it to him raw sometimes too. And so I don't really feel like I'm wasting that. And then I don't have to be as careful doing the cutting of it either. So when you are canning chicken, if you're raw packing like this, I am filling it. It's always a 1-inch headspace for meat. So that is right below the rim here. I will measure it with my little debubbler. I'm only doing 4 jars today because I want the rest for a meal. And you just cut these into reasonable, kind of large bite-sized chunks. I'm usually about 1 inch to 1.5 inch chunk, filling up my jars here. A quick word while I'm doing this about the digital pressure canner. Even though raw packing chicken is an approved method and totally fine, digital pressure canners are not tested. So that part of this is a little bit of rebel canning. I have been using this one for a year and a half to 2 years. I've not had any problems. I bought this one specifically based on tests done by Rose Red Homestead. I will link that video below. She did a whole series where she was testing out all the digital pressure canners and their food safety. But because it's not approved, I would encourage you to do all your research. There are plenty of canners who use them, and there are plenty of canners who will not, under any circumstance, use these. So, so you do you, but you do you with all the knowledge you should find. Like, go look for it. I will say this one, I can't speak for any of the other ones, but I chose this one based on the safety level. But this one is supposed to take up to anywhere between 1 and 5 of these jars. And my experience has been better with 3 or 4 jars. I've only done 1 jar twice, and it worked once and it gave me an error message once. And then I've not done 2 jars. I've done 3 and 4. Both of those times it's worked all the time. I have done 5 several times. They're packed really tight in there, and then sometimes it will give me an error code, and it does that after you've done all the work, after it's doing that 10 minutes of, it's supposed to be a 10-minute countdown of the steady stream of pressure, or steady stream of like it's venting, the steam coming out. and it just kind of gets stuck there and gives you this beeping thing that doesn't really tell you much. I try, unless I am really, really needing to get 5 jars in right then, to just do 4. An advantage of this, though, in the summer is when you are canning, like, you don't have 500 million thing. You don't need to can a whole giant can full of tomatoes or pickles. I make pickles. I grow a lot of cucumbers for them, but I still end up with only 5 to 8 jars at a time, that kind of thing. Just to do smaller amounts, it's convenient. You'll notice on my lid when I close it, I have a green piece to my lid. That is because I'm at just above 1,000 feet elevation. So it comes with a different one and this one. You just pop the other one off if you're at a higher elevation and you need this one, you just pop the other one off and you just pop this one right on. Okay, I have almost got these jars filled. I am using here my favorite knife for this. I have to say, I bought this knife. This is not a cooking knife. I bought it specifically. It was a suggestion from someone on YouTube. I can't remember who does a lot of chicken butchering, and that's what I bought it for. I have not yet done meat birds. I plan to someday, but I do have chickens. I have for a while, and every now and then you have to put one out of its misery. So I bought it for that, and it's like cutting through butter. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So it's become my favorite knife to use just cutting up the raw chicken. It just slices right through. It's amazing. All right, I have these done now. Let me wash my hands. Check my heights here real quick. So, 1 inch, there we are. These will, when you are raw packing chicken, you don't add liquid to them. These will cook down and they will do their own little brine. It won't cover the chicken completely, and that's okay. If you have a little bit sticking out, it's fine. But this actually makes like the best fast food chicken. It tastes so good. I do not like canned chicken from the store. I know a lot of people do, and they make like chicken salad and stuff out of them. I have been doing this for several years now and love it and love the flavor. It makes its own just beautiful. It's called ugly chicken from a lot of people. I think that term was invented by Lisa Sutton because it doesn't look great in the jar, but it makes this beautiful broth and delicious chicken, and it makes dinner so fast because you can add it to rice or tacos or just like anything. Chicken salad, anything you would use canned or just cooked chicken for, like if you buy rotisserie chickens or cooked chickens for that. So I wiped each rim with vinegar and I'm putting on lids now. I like to use the wide mouth jars for this because it's just easier to get the chicken in and out of and easier to clean because it will leave like a little bit of stuff on the bottom. I always add my extra vinegar to the pot just because I have hard water and it helps it stay nice. To not have to clean that coating, white coating off the jars. So fingertip tight on the lids. Got my 4 rings here. I am putting these in here. Now, if you use a regular pressure canner like the All-American I used last week, it has you put the water in the canner first and then the jars. For some reason, the direction these asks for the water afterwards. I don't know that it matters, but I like to just follow the directions. So it always takes the same amount. It's 8 cups, 2 quarts. So I do that. And then put this down and close it. And let me bring you in closer to the stuff here. So I'm going to start by hitting high because I'm pressurizing it. I'm going to go up. It'll skip up a little bit. So canning quarts of any meat is 75 minutes and, pints. 75 minutes, quarts is 90 minutes. These are pints. Hit start. So hi, my time, and start. These are pints. I like to do a couple extra minutes because these are not approved. I just want to make sure that it's getting enough time in the kill zone. So I just add a few minutes. It doesn't hurt the chicken at all. It's not like I'm adding an hour. I'm going to do the top up here. So the top up here is going to be set to exhaust, and you'll feel that it's in the right place. You've got the arrow, but you can feel it because it's like a higher spot, and when you go airtight, it drops down into place. So going up, I feel it there. This is going to go on its own. This is going to start steaming, and it will do its own 10-minute countdown, just like we had last week with the All-American canner, and we had to count 10 minutes of steady stream on its own. So it will start, it'll do this runaround thing while it gets hot and up to pressure. And I will bring you back when it starts the count. Real quick while waiting for this, you notice I did not put any salt in the jars. I believe that is one of the directions from the Center for Home Food Preservation. It is optional. I don't put salt usually in the stuff I can, unless it's like salsa or something. I do salt it. I'm not afraid of salt. I use a lot of salt. I just prefer to salt it when things come out and I'm making the dish. So salt is optional. You can do it. I actually meant to put some taco seasoning in one because I use them for tacos a lot, and just see if that did anything different to the actual tacos, just like an experiment, just because I'm curious and I like to do experiments. But I forgot to do that, so I'm just going to leave them going here. Okay, so it just beeped and the E10 is there. It's going to do the continual steam for 10 minutes while it's on exhaust. I'm going to let it do that, and then I will show you what happens when it's done. Okay, now that it has reached 0, it's going to do that for a second. I need to switch this to airtight and see how it stopped. It will release steam again. That is normal during pressure canning for it to release steam intermittently, and it will eventually stop this, and it will start the countdown of the amount of time that I put on there. It takes a few minutes to get all the way up to pressure. It stops flashing that E0 and starts this again until it's all the way up to pressure and it closes up there. Then it will start the countdown. Okay, it just turned on and it's going to start the countdown. And once it's done, it will turn itself off, and I'll bring you back then. There we go. It's finished. I'm going to just unplug it because that's what the directions say to do, and let it come down from pressure at least an hour.